I told you this guy's a genius.
Self-proclaimed, maybe.
Well, as long as it works for him.
Exactly my point.
Awesome.
Escape the age.
Hello. Okay, first of all, I'm just trying to... Okay, first of all, this is about cannabis. I think what we need... Now, I'm just talking for Germany. Because believe me, please, I smoke the stuff sometimes with people that just get it somewhere from the streets and it drives me insane. You know, this stuff that you grow underneath these LEDs, I don't know. We need regulated stuff. Regulated in a sense of, you know, if I buy cannabis on the streets, I have no idea what this is. This might be all kinds of things. This might be... So it's, first of all, I have to get away from here. Or I have to stop smoking. I really feel like I have to get away from here. You know, I'm just saying, my life is really weird. I have no idea at times who I really am. And it gets worse if I take psychedelics with people, which teaches me as an individual being a very important lesson. First of all, doing ayahuasca with people that think it's a good idea to do ayahuasca and then hug each other is a very bad idea. You know, I've done that a couple of times and yeah, it just doesn't work. So what benefit do I have to help people, right? What benefit do I have to even do or consider doing psychedelics with each other? Well, I'm not quite sure. Because these things, they all kind of seem dead to me. I mean, if everybody knows what they have to do, you know, I think it's fairly okay. But what I have to be honest about is actually, you know, where am I and where do I want to be? You know, I have to be honest when I say I don't know where this thing is going anymore. It's too big for me to understand. There's not just one person. There's like 7 or 8. And they're all full of hate. And when I deal with them, I start to become afraid that somebody's going to kill me. And that's paranoia for you. So how am I supposed to deal with that now? Is it actually truth or is it just a fabrication in my mind? Because I have yesterday smoked with 2 people cannabis. And what I realized is that most people, they shouldn't take psychedelics at all. And that's then the message, and that You know, I know how to deal with them when I'm on my own. But I'm not a great fan of sharing these things with people because I don't know how you deal with it. And if you already don't know how to deal with being alone and smoking cannabis on your own, because every time I meet people, they tell me stories, and these stories seem like stories. And I don't know what kind of other stories they tell themselves. Because if I'm in the position where I, you know, let's say I want to be a father, and then you say, yeah, good luck with that. But, you know, there's not only this crazy psychedelic stuff I do. This is only actually a small part of my life. And, you know, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes things scare me. See people that are close to death, it scares me. The question is, how much do I want to seclude myself? And the only thing that gives me stability is to just feel myself at the moment. Because the people that I am surrounded with, that are surrounding me from all sides, it's like the circle is getting tighter around me. And I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. And then I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Because nobody tells me anything. Nobody comes to me and says, you know, hey, Christopher, I really appreciate you. Let's do this together. You know, nobody comes and openly says what they want with me. Because it seems like that maybe I'm supposed to be the one with the plan. But if I try to do the planning or help people to plan for their own endeavors, which they say they have. I mean, I meet people that tell me that they run marathons, you know, that they constantly run half marathons. But when we're having a race, I just let you stand there, and I'm not running half marathons. I have run them. No, I haven't. You know, I do things, and I do them alone. You know, I'm more of a hiker, and I can run faster than someone that tells me he's doing half marathons. You know, I have been working with that guy for such a long time. And every time we meet, he just has new stories. And I tell him, I have no idea who you are, my friend. It's like, I see you just keep getting skinnier and skinnier and skinnier. So, am I supposed to take him to my apartment? Because what would he do? You know, he would just sit around here. You know, can I do that? Because I'm busy. And it's really destroying me to spend time with people that just want to use you. Maybe it's exactly the right thing to stay away. But then the question is, what else can I do? Can I go to the boulder hall? Can I do other things? Well, what I realized is that after you'd had an intense experience with or without, you know, anything special, because if I drink a coffee now, you know, you don't know where it's going to project you. Okay? And now I'm trying to understand what this fear is. What is this fear? Where is it coming from? Is it from me? Is it my fear? Is it somebody else's fear? Okay? Do you know what I'm trying to say? You know, life, the world is full of hate. And I don't know why I feel fear to bring people into this place. And I can actually tell you because I meet people and they just want a safe place to chill. You know, I get it. I think people would want to chill here. But the answer is absolutely no. Why? I like it here. But who can I really bring in here? And that's the problem that I have at the moment. That wherever I go, there's people that want something from me. Women want sex with me, but they don't want to say it. Maybe they want to sit on my lap, but they don't want to say it. And then the question is, I've had people who said, we have to be open about the idea that people can have visions, images in their mind, which tell them something about a situation or the future, or maybe something, how they feel right now is connected to a past trauma, right? We have to open up to the possibility that this is real, because people are having it. I'm having it. And I meet people and I'm not sure who they are. Because although I've been in their homes, they tell me these stories and they don't get it. Because if you tell me a story about, how you're a really good programmer and you're making good money, but at the same time you say you have to work so that you can earn anything, what am I supposed to tell you? If you're not honest about who you are to me, how am I supposed to tell you anything? Because if that starts being like this, all I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna run away. I'm just gonna run away. And today, I had the situation yesterday. I met someone, we just had some time together. Like, because I'm tight on money, he invited me for a tea, which is a very delicate position to find yourself in. Because just think about it for a second. I have literally given my life to the public. Which means to say, if you spend time with me, I don't know what your true intention is. And now it says your intuition is excellent. What was he trying to do? You could say he was trying to become you. Think about it. I do meet people where I'm concerned for my life. So, how much time should I spend alone with people? And I really think nobody is going to understand. And for that we just have to look at the Jesus story and just consider it to be true. Just for an instant. You just have to consider it to be true. And as a writer, that's what I'm mostly trying to be a writer. What I do with YouTube is just additional. Because I have such intense experiences where I literally no longer know is that really a friend? What is he trying to take from me? Because I have a feeling if I have a place, let's say you love someone really much and it's really a special love, people are going to come and they're going to try to take it away from you. Which is why, there's a lot of fear in me, because there is someone on the other side. It's like knock knock, yeah, but nobody's coming. Okay, knock knock, nobody's coming. What's going on? This is my weekend, and yesterday I let myself, let's just say, slide through the city. And I landed back in my own heaven. Well, I slid through the city. You do realize who I'm talking to here. All right. Okay, who I'm not talking to is someone who listens to me and just criticizes everything that I say. I'm talking to people who can relate to the way I feel at least a little bit. Who realize that the material world isn't everything there is. And this is a concept I have certainly dealt with in letters to the government. That there are these two worlds. There is this energetic ether, which is the void that spills everything, that fills everything. And then there is... what else is there? Right. What else is there? Well, what else there is, you know, what's space, what's time? You know, it's space and time. So you've got space and you've got time. You've got space and you can fill the space with whatever you want. But now you've got time, okay? And you can fill time with whatever you want. And time is slow or fast. You know, it can even be like zip, zip, zip. You know, some moments stretch out forever and then they're done. It's like while you're hiking, it's like incredibly long. But when the hike is done, you know, it's just like neatly packed into one experience. So when you're doing something, it always takes forever. But when it's done, it's suddenly over. And my fear at the moment is, well, what's gonna happen after this is done? Am I going to stay here? Is this where I'm going to live now forever? You know, I hope not. You know, I really hope not. And I also feel like people wouldn't even want me to. People wouldn't even want me to. Like, there's something about me that seems to, I don't know, make people angry. And I really mean that. I mean, people start becoming so incredibly angry in my presence. And I actually do, you know, from my perspective, I do nothing. But people say, what are you doing? Stop doing this. You are doing this on purpose. And every time I meet people, you know, I cannot help but start getting a little bit paranoid because, you know, if I go to my parents, I sometimes even get paranoid about them. Or they do about me. Or we are all kind of paranoid. You know, I like to see people as individuals. And that's a problem when you know what oneness is like. Because then, you know, you are me and I am you. And, you know, what am I supposed to do when I meet you? Am I supposed to be your friend? Try to be your daddy? You know, I cannot do that. Because I'm none of these things. I don't even know which woman I'm supposed to be with. Or if I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. Am I really waiting for someone here who's knocking? You know, am I running away from her coming here? Because, you know, I don't have all these answers. You know, I picked something that I can do and I'm doing it. You know, and if I'm like Philip K. Dick writing insane novels, yeah, but I also try to stay grounded, which is why if I have an intense experience, I just say, hey, maybe I should go and do something that grounds me again. And I don't want to be used. And that's the feeling I have every time I spend time with people. You know, I have made an appointment now to go hiking together. I'm actually not sure if I want this. Because I don't trust anyone enough. I mean, what's trust? I've got real trust issues. You know, do we help each other if we go hiking together? Do we help each other if we do anything together? I mean, I tell you I'm going to be there. And I'm going to tell you, you know, I think you just have to do it by yourself. I mean, that's the message I'm getting. You have to do it by yourself. But I have a problem with that because I see other people that are really struggling. They're like in a really deep hole. And then you think, yeah, well, maybe that's just how they're supposed to be at the moment. And maybe one evening was all it took. One evening is maybe all it takes. And then why did we make an appointment? Well, that's really hard to say. Because if I talk to you, you know, you may not want to hear what I have to say. But if you listen to this, then you do. And because if we cling to words, then we forget what's really happening. So I think what I'm trying to realize, and I'm trying to express it to other people is, you know, just look at this. You don't know who you meet on the streets, okay? There are people that you should be careful with. I have spent times with people and we played frisbee and it was really awesome. But when I meet them the next time and they look like really done, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do with this. And maybe we do need things to help us, but I cannot say that it really helped me. I mean, it helped me and I've done all these things, but I also have to deal with it. So we talk about opening your third eye and seeing things, you know. I'm just saying, these are just words. There is certainly paranoia, but paranoia also goes. I often have this, that I even meet people where I say they're family, and then I go back to them, and then there's suddenly this, I don't remember who I am. You see, that's the problem. You know, I have to spend time with people You see, that's where I'm not quite sure about. Do I have to spend time with people that I remember and that remember me and that knew me before I started to change? Or should I spend time with people that have no idea who I am or where I'm coming from? Because then who am I really? I mean, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be. Am I supposed to be here? Am I supposed to be elsewhere? And my own choices are keeping me trapped, but it's not really true. I'm just trying to do the best that I can. Because I haven't had a clear idea. I mean, when I say I had visions, which is an image of how your life could be, I'm just trying to get there. I'm just trying to get there. But to get there seems to be really hard. And the only one that I can relate to at the moment with, I would say, is Chris Webster. He kind of gets it. I mean, at least he's talking about kind of the same things. You know, for me, it's a real challenge to drink this coffee without sugar or to even drink it at all, because you never know what's gonna happen. You never know what's going to happen. Okay, and now the question arises, what is propofol? Why do people take these medications? Okay, there's something that you could call madness, which I would say is a state of mind that's just like where boundaries have been dissolved. Let's just see it like that. Which means that if you and I are in a room together and I'm closer to madness than you, which, you know, is as likely as it may be unlikely, so all I can say is this is not a safe environment for children. I mean, honestly, I would probably, and I'm not sure where all this fear is coming from. You see, I think we should be more concerned about certain things. And I think we also should maintain these boundaries that, you know, if I meet people somewhere in the streets, I'm not going to spend more time with you than I have to. And I think I rather want to, you know, that's where I have a problem. I feel like I want to spend time with women. But if I spend time with women, you know, it's just going to end in sex. And if I would do that at the moment, then, you know, we can all see where this is going to go. Child and stuff. So I have to be really cautious with who I sleep. That's how I feel like. But this is, again, giving into the fear. Or what is precaution really? How much anxiety should we, you know, what is really valuable to me at the moment is that I have the ability to create my own time and space. Because people are really weird. I mean, I'm saying they're weird. I don't know if they think I'm weird or whether they think I'm really nice. You know, I mean, there's people that want to spend time with me and be where I live. But I really have to reconsider myself as an individual, like, who do I really want to be? Do I want to create on YouTube? Or do I want to teach people in real life? I think the thing is, it's not the environment. And I think that's what I'm starting to realize. I cannot take you to my home, right? Because this is my space. And I like it. I don't know, I feel different about women. But also not really. Because if I want to be here with a woman, then she has to be able to blend in. And I really mean that. And that's just a really fair point for myself also. That I have to know that there are people that are really struggling, okay? So what we need is a space for people. And that's what I'm starting to realize. And I cannot do it on my own. I'm not sure if somebody is willing. But today is Sunday, okay? Right? Today is Sunday. Today is Sunday. And it's actually my day off. Which is why if there's a Saturday, you know, am I really gonna go into the city? I think not. I think the life I'm going to lead for now is going to be just a little bit different. But I also don't just want to be at home because I've already been at home. And I still want to see, you know, because the messages I'm getting are really weird. I mean, I talk about why are they weird? Okay, just a second. I have to admit. It says it's better to manage these things from the Never Never. Now, the Never Never is a place that exists inside of yourself where you can actually communicate with each other. But sometimes you just have to make a connection, I think. Now, I'm actually starting to reduce my sugar intake, and coffee is actually my direct connection to this place that you may call the Never Never. I don't like coffee without sugar. And then it says now, sure you do. Okay. Sugar has the ability to open you up. Is there a thing like addiction? What am I trying to keep alive here? What is addiction? If it helps me to stay focused, but does it really? Right? There's just nobody that really wants to help me. And there's nobody that really can help me unless somebody that knew how to live with me. But that would know. I mean, if you drink ayahuasca, it's not going to be super sweet, right? It's going to be disgusting. I mean, relatively. I mean, just think about it. Smoking anything at the moment in these high quantities, I mean, this stuff was disgusting. I mean, he buys this shit from people, and I've told him already multiple times that he has no idea what he's smoking there. I mean, he has no idea what he's smoking there. Just gonna add a bit of cinnamon. I'm totally not sure why I do these things. Have I friends? How much time should I spend with them? None. I have no friends. That's a fact. I have no friends. I have no friends. I have people that I think want to control me. They want to tell me that it says born to run. But that's the problem that I have. That every time I want to go for a run, I pack so many things. I do like running, don't get me wrong. But actually, I don't like it. Okay, what are the hidden intentions of your actions? What do you truly want? Because all I can say is people are under a lot of tension. And sometimes I meet with people and I'm not sure if they want to hurt me. And you can say these are just images. Maybe they want to get rid of my eyes. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean? You know, I meet people and they say I'm some kind of spirit, Holy Spirit, whatever. I don't know, man. I just know Jesus got nailed to the cross, my friend. And I'm not sure if people want to lift me up, or if they want to pin me down, if they want to tear me apart. I mean, just think of the movie The Perfume. You know, this society is sick. This has never changed. This is Jerusalem, or wherever, whatever happened. You know, I'm seeing similarities in my own life. It's just weird to talk about it because, you know, maybe I am like Yogananda, but I'm completely different. You know, he was like more like a chubby character. He liked to eat, and so do I. But right now, I don't know what's happening. I feel like I'm really stuck. The idea of going to the boulder hall is really scary. And the question is why? You know, that's what I'm trying to understand. At the moment, I'm working to fill YouTube. And you don't know what I do in between. That's all I'm saying. If I meet someone at night in the park, then that means it's just how it is. I managed to let go of porn because my focus is on being with a woman, and I just got sick of these things. And there are people that I'm getting sick of. And now is the question, how much am I here to help others? Because I'm not fit. I mean, I'm not fit to hold ceremonies for other people. And I'm never gonna fit in. People want me to fit in, I'm never gonna fit in. People want me to fit in, I'm never gonna fit in. Why do you think the shaman is always alone? Just saying. People don't like change. And they even lie about change. They say people cannot change, but people change all the time. Well, the thing is, they can only change if they want to. And sometimes I'm not sure if I'm here to help people so that they can change. It clearly scares me to leave the house at times. You know, I'm all on my own, there's nobody to support me. Inside is a little child, and where am I supposed to find the adult? In the choices that I make. It's not my job to take people home and to feed them. You know, if I have a cafe, that's a totally different story. But now the question is, I don't think I will ever have a cafe. I think I'm just gonna be like Rick, cooking shit up in my lab like Chris Webster. And I'm just going to try to figure out things. And then I'm just gonna do what I like, which is go bouldering, you know, drive somewhere, spend time with my family and with my wife. There still is uncertainty about the form of this wife. You know, what kind of person, how far am I gonna let other women get to me if I am very sure that I already met her? Am I gonna risk it? I mean, if you meet a woman and she's just, wow, so super cute, but you also realize, I think you could work with each other. The question is still, would you want to? Because if you meet someone who's a bit like you, it doesn't have to be necessarily a good thing. So if I meet people that are a bit like me, and now it says nobody is like you, well, that's certainly true. But then who is like these other people? Because to me, they're just a bunch of random guys. Every time I meet them, I'm not quite sure what they're doing. I'm not sure why I'm talking to anyone. Now it says that's networking. And that's what you have to get. That if you're out to look for the people that are a bit like you, you may find people that are as weird as you are. And to quote Terence McKenna, because he's certainly one of the men that can never harm me unless I follow all of his advice, and you know, he may harm me in the way he's polluting. Well, he actually helps me quite a lot. And I know he's never going to put a knife to me, right? And that's a very comforting thought. But how much time can I spend alone in seclusion in this apartment before I start to wither away and forget who I really am? Because if there's nobody that gives me stability emotionally, I have to give it to myself. And yesterday was certainly a punch in the face for various reasons. And I'm not sure how I'm supposed to be, who I'm supposed to be with, what I'm supposed to do, and all these kinds of things. And in these moments, just take the camera and just start a talk. And now the question is, who is that going to help? Because I have the kind of a doubt that, you know, I think I'm deconfusing people. I think I'm confusing them. Or maybe they're already confused and I'm really trying to deconfuse them. But every time I spend time with people, you know, everything just kind of starts to merge into each other. And then I'm not sure who I am anymore. But then I do these things and I realize, well, I'm still the same guy. Because I tried to tell him yesterday, you know, I did go for the tea and it was nice. And then we did spend some time. But sure, man, I mean, if I'm going to take you home, you're never going to leave. You're just going to sit around here. And then what am I supposed to do? You know, I cannot do these kinds of things. It's too much for me. And the way Chris Webster says it, he says, you know, the truth is too much for their spirit. That's why they fear it. And he says it so many times, it feels like he's been stabbed in the back. And that's just how people are. Everybody's like a thug. If you give someone something, you know, right, he may not know what to do with it. Which is why I start really to find comfort in the idea that, you know, I can just be a writer. And then I'm just gonna live alone. But I am gonna go to places. But then you ask yourself, do I need bodyguards now? And then the answer is, only if I mean, just think about it, please. I mean, you've seen what I've been doing for a very long time now. If I would have been in India or in some kind of place where people can see beings with high awareness, you know, I mean, who's the Dalai Lama? He's basically an enlightened being that just is being taken. He's going to be picked out, and he's going to be honed into doing what the people need. Now the question is, what do people need from me? Because there is no institution here. Because everybody's so corrupt. They say things, but they mean other things. They say, I want to be your friend. You know, this is Terence McKenna again. I want to be your friend. Come. But they want that you sell their bullshit. They want that you buy their lies. They want you to manage them. You know, I can barely manage myself. No, don't you get that? If I'm going to start a center for yoga, then you can come there and you can do yoga. But I cannot take you to my home. Because there's no place in here for you. And I'm going to hate you. I'm going to throw you out. You know, you say so many things like, you say you go and you do this and you do that. I don't know what you do, man. Just don't. You know, just consider me for a second. You see me talking here through the lens of a camera. If you'd spend one night with me, believe me, you wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it. Or maybe you would. But, you know, that would be enough for me. Because I can give to a certain point, and if I run away from you, then I've given you enough. And you either understand that or you don't, because you suck a lot. And you take a lot for granted. You know, I take friendship for granted, that's for sure. And I'm just running from person to person, trying to figure out still what I'm here to do. Is this what I'm supposed to do? Sitting here recording myself and then going to the Boulder Hall? You know, I think the way I do it is I accept challenges from people. And then I see how far they want to go. And then I realize he was trying to stop me. he was trying to stop me. But why? I was too fast for him. See, that's why I was running away. He was holding me back. And the scariest thought for me personally is that it's going to be the same thing with this woman. Where I feel so much love. But I've just never met anyone that could stand me and just accept that I have a direction that I cannot just explain it to you. It's so delicate to talk about the feeling, that pushes you to do what you're doing. It's so delicate. Please believe me when I say that. It's better to keep certain things to yourself. People ask me questions that are so personal that I'm not sure whether I should answer them. But then also people are so supportive. But I'm still afraid. I occasionally see the problem I always have is if I spend time with somebody who lives on the streets and I feed him energy and time, and he's sitting there drinking his tea. Would I bring my child? You see, that's the problem I have. The way I'm living my life at the moment is basically I'm a child in disguise, okay? And I walk around and I look like an adult and I look super tough. And the first time I showed myself to another being like this openly was actually with this guy on the streets, and I was sitting there and I was completely open. And he asked me something. He has a bit of a Polish background, I think. And I drank grog, like he put vodka in my tea. And he drank vodka out of the bottle. And I'm not sure he has to drink vodka. I think it's just a pastime activity. I see potential in him, and that's the crazy part. He's super smart and we can communicate without saying a thing. We just start laughing together. And that's just so nice. But I feel so vulnerable. And I sat with him and he just told me to chill. And I was like, but what's gonna happen? Is he really my friend? No more friends, man. There are people that just have no friends. Is that the right way to live? What about communes? What about communities? What about living together and sharing the fire? I feel humanity is not ready for this. But a few select people are. Who are these people? I cannot take you here to chill. And there are so many messages coming through. But the message is actually quite strong. Do you? And what's me? I don't want to have men here. I want to chill with a woman. And that's me. I never liked men. I just want men to be strong by themselves. I want to have a woman here. Then I'm going to see where this is going. Because why am I in such a rush? And then you listen to these stories, I have read Autobiography of a Yogi. Well, this story where, there's like Sri Yukteswar and he has this collection of people that follow his teaching, and that's the problem now. People don't really want to follow my teaching because they're too deep in shit. And I'm too deep in my own shit to just help everyone all the time. And the only thing that helps me to work myself through these states that I experience when I'm together with other people is to actually talk about it. Because it's toxic. I just have to leave the house. If I would just live in the forest and other people would live in the forest, I would know what to do. I'd probably know how to feel when somebody's coming, but I don't really feel anything anymore. I'm not sure who's who. And what am I doing in all of this? Are psychedelics good or are they bad? I have sometimes moments where I think they help me. And then what is holding you back? Okay, now I get it. Somebody was holding me back. And then the question is why? Am I devoted to men, or should I rather spend time with a woman? I really feel like a little child. And the men I find are vicious, they're blind, they're unkind, they're angry. But if I look at them, I still see this little child inside. And it every time kind of breaks my heart. And that's when we come to the mentality of a warrior. What is a warrior supposed to be like? What is my mission? Am I here to wake people up or to shake people up? Am I here to, rebel? What am I really here to do for? And why is it so hard for me? I always keep the child in the room. If I'm alone in my own space or I'm with people who are cool, I'm just gonna be nice. But if you start turning into an asshole, I just show you that I have a little child inside. I have met people that completely lost it. I always keep the child in the room because I actually care for children. And I want space environments for children. I no longer feel safe in this toxic environment that people created. There are moments that I find nice. And then there are moments that are really terrible. And that's just duality. It's just the question, how long, how terrible does it have to get before it starts getting better? And this is where I always get back to the people that I've been with. But I also take my time to distance myself from them. Because I've seen what I can do. And there are people who see what I can do. And it's hard to understand this with words. Call it magic if you will. Not everyone can be unleashed in a room that's full of debris and just turns it into something that's comfortable. But I need support. I need support from the people that see value in the work that I'm doing. And then I need the help of these people to keep me safe and maybe sane. And there are not many people who can do this. But if it's stability that I want, then I have to start with myself. Which is why I go alone to the Boulder Hall. And I make sure to tell people that I do this. And if I meet you then there, fine. But I don't want to keep running into situations like this anymore. I mean, I want to, and that's the crazy part. You know, it scares the shit out of me. I mean, literally, it scares the shit out of me. But I love it. How does that make sense? It literally scares the shit out of me. But I love it. Could you explain this to me? You know, what I like is the challenge. What I like is the motivation to be good for other people, because I realize they want to spend time with me, but you know, the Boulder Hall for me is a safe place where I can engage with people. When I'm there, I tell people how I do it. Because people are really weird, they just don't get it. I mean that. People are really weird and they just don't get it. So, at the moment, I don't have a lot. I mean, I give what I have, but that's all I have. Right? I give what I have and that's it. You know, I have weird things. I have beautiful things. You know, I have strange things. You know, stranger things. And now I have to get ready. I have to pack my shit. I have to move on. I have to do something. I have to, you know, hold on to the thoughts that help me to progress. I have to keep my focus on my mission and remember where I'm going with this. You know, I have to sometimes isolate myself from other people to understand what is really happening to myself, or rather, how do I actually feel about myself? You know, this is what I feel like I have to do, because I cannot live the life of other people. All I can do is, you know, just live my own life. And sometimes I just need food, apparently. But it's right. It's like I need food, because without food it's just too much of a challenge. I really try to teach people in the best way that I can. And the only way to do that okay, next time, you know, I'm getting better. I'm getting better, right? And if I meet you and you want time with me, then I can still say no. You see? No. Right? That's the most important thing. No. It's really hard to say